I know it looks crazy right now. What am I doing? I got a magnifying glass and things here, a knife. We all know I'm not good with knives. What's going on here? Welcome back to the channel. Roger here, Rant About Tech, and today we're going to do a little bit of experimenting. I saw a post on Reddit because I was scouring the internet, as it were, for all kinds of different nib and pen types because I was just unhappy with felt nibs. Just don't like them. Not my style. So I'm trying to find some other styles of nibs. I know the Supernote has a ceramic nib. I do have that. We do have that in the house, but it's supposedly only good for the Supernote. I beg to differ, but that's just my personal preference. And then we have the Lamy pen here. And then we have various other felt tip nibs that come with the devices like I said, I just don't like felt. I want something better than that. The firm felt on the Remarkable pen feels better than the normal felt that I've been dealing with. Still felt though. I'd rather something else. I just don't like the sound of it and the feel of it. It's not good. So I'm looking for a way to have the best of both worlds with the Supernote pen. And it seems that there is no ceramic nib pen that has a button on it. And for me, you need a button for the Supernote. It just, those gestures, I love the Supernote. Don't get me wrong. I love the Supernote. We're talking about the A6X2 more specifically because I haven't tried the A5X. But the A6X2, I love it. Awesome device. The gestures, Joe, just, they're wonky. They work sometimes when they feel like it, and they don't work other times when they don't feel like it, which is majority of the time. They work less than they do work. Oh, that didn't make sense. Let's try to rephrase that. They work less or more. Oh God, they don't work very often, okay? They don't work more than they do work. There we go. I knew I'd get there. But the point is that they're not very reliable, okay? And I almost feel like it's worth going up to the toolbar and picking what I want to do. And I despise that. Who wants to go to the toolbar to pick what they want to do? So minus good gestures, they don't have any. Boox has the best gestures in the game. If you care about gestures and you want a good way to go about writing without having to go to that toolbar every 30 seconds, you go buy a Boox product and you get that scribble stuff out and you do it. You do it. Like I said though, not a knock against the Supernote. I love the Supernote. I just wish the gestures were better. I wish they gave us some writing gestures. A quicker way to do this stuff. I hate going to the toolbar. It breaks the flow. Just nothing about that whole process of going to the toolbar to pick a tool is good. Like, if these people want to like make the best product they can, they should all be thinking of ways to implement all of these things into the writing experience, not into the toolbar. Like, the toolbar should be the backup. But if you don't want to learn gestures, cool, go to the toolbar. That's who the toolbar should be for. The people who don't want to learn the gestures. But for people who want to stay in the flow of writing, give us gestures. Give us an easy way to stay in the flow. That just breaks. If this was a video game I was talking about, I'd be like, that breaks immersion, dude. It breaks the immersion. You can't even get into it. You can't. You get what I'm saying, though. It just takes you out of your flow state. And writing has a flow state, too. Yeah, I like writing gestures, and I wish that the Supernote had some reliable ones. I mean, even if the touch thing, even if I did have to deal with that, if it were more reliable, I'd deal with it more. Like, I literally think this to myself when I'm writing and I go to use them, like, oh, is it best to just go to the toolbar, bro? Could you just do that? Would you save time? And then I think, the time that you took thinking about this, you could have just picked the toolbar and got on with your day. These are first world problems, but they're problems nonetheless. Problems nonetheless. So my point is, I can't get down with their gestures, so I want to figure out a better way when I'm using the Supernote. So a button is the better way. I've tried the button with it. I've tried the Lamy here. It's great. It's awesome. I've tried the Lamy. It has the button. I just don't like the writing experience. It's too slippery, this plastic thing right here. But as far as the button goes and working with it and circling to like erase stuff, oh, it's marvelous. I love it. And I want that experience, but I want it with a ceramic nib. because I like the ceramic nib. I did scouring on the internet. I came across a post from Lmaldies. Okay, so that's who this is from. And she made a post about, I made a Lamy All-Star EMR pen with ceramic nib and working button. So she posted a video of it working, but she didn't post a video of the process, which is where your boy come in. If I'm doing nothing, I'm filling gaps in the content space, I find one and I'm like, oh, there's nothing there. I'll do that. So here we go. I'm gonna try this process and I'm gonna try to record the process on video. So if anybody else wants to try it, they'll have a video reference to go to. Credit to Lmaldies for this idea. Appreciate you. The video or in her post for Reddit is gonna be down in the description. So go check that out. Hit her up, say what's up. I appreciate the idea. I've already done it. She outlines the situation to where she took a nib that she had and she basically transformed that nib that fits in the Lamy, that comes in a Lamy if you buy it with this particular nib. She took that nib and just transformed it into a ceramic nib that she can use and then put back in here and use it with the Lamy. I had one of those nibs. I talked about that nib in a video. I'll put that in the description as well. But I talked about that nib in my video. I didn't like the nib because it had that rubber into it, and I might have mentioned in that video, I kept trying to pull that rubber end off or pick it off so I can feel how the plastic underneath felt on the screen. It was impossible though. I could not get that rubber off. And I'm like, dang, they used some really good glue on this rubber to put this on the tip. It's that the rubber is the core of the nib. So the whole nib is plastic and the core of that plastic nib is rubber, and the rubber peeks out through the tip of that plastic nib. And a little bit of that rubber is what forms the tip of that particular nib, and then you get a rubber tipped plastic nib. But so she pulled all of that out and just threw a ceramic nib in the cavity that the rubber was in, and turns out it's a perfect fit. So she was able to use it, put it back in the Lamy, and it works perfectly. So that's what I'm gonna do here today. Like I said, I'm just gonna document this on video, maybe. I tried it once. We got what I did here earlier on the screen, and the plastic feels harder than what it is. I took the razor and tried to go through it and dang near cut the thing in half, like just by touching it. So it's really soft. So if you go through this process, just note the plastic is really, really soft. It feels hard and it may feel brittle because it's so thin, but it's super soft as well. So you won't have to touch it with the razor much to cut it. So keep that in mind. I made that mistake already. All right, so like I said, I used this one right here, and I was able to pull the rubber, which is this part right here, out. So we have the rubber right here, and this is the plastic nib here with the rubber pulled out. I couldn't get the tip out. So this experiment we're gonna do right here is gonna be my second attempt, but it'll be my first attempt at trying to get the rubber all the way out. We'll see how it works out. But, and then we have a needle here to kind of pick at the rubber to kind of get a piece of it out so we can pull it out of the rest of this plastic shell that it's in. All right, I hope all of that makes sense. I'll try to do a drawing and put it up on the screen as well to try to illustrate it a little better than what I'm saying. But well, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of the nibs. Like I said, I bought these nibs and just didn't like them. The rubber didn't help with the glassy feel of the Tab Mini C. I was trying to do something to mitigate that. I thought the rubber would help on it because those tips were advertised as being for glossy surfaces, and I consider the Tab Mini C a glossy surface. Let's put that right there. All right, so we're gonna just take a look at this nib real quick. Can we see this here? This is probably the best I'm gonna be able to do right here on this blue backdrop. The tip of this nib has a plastic core that goes through the shaft of the nib. And that's what we're trying to take out. So, and we're gonna just slice it right down the middle as per Lmaladies post. She, I guess, just put it on some tape and she cut it right down the middle there. We're not gonna cut the head, we're just gonna cut the shaft, a little slice down the middle of it. And then we're gonna pick at it with the needle here, and then we'll pick it up with the needle again, or pick at it and to try to pull it out. And that'll be that. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. Okay, so let's see if we can get the center part here. And like I said, this is really soft. And you have to be really slow and deliberate with it. Okay. So I'm trying to keep it steady and even. My heart is pounding. But I can feel it like spinning. And I don't want to cut it all the way through. Okay. I think we got it. We might have got it, boys and girls. Whew. All right, heart pumping. I didn't want to ruin that because I only have one extra one. And yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can get the needle and pull the rubber part out. Actually, we should probably pick at it a little bit first, just to get it going. I'm gonna try to hold it in place and pick it out of that little slice we just made. All right, maybe let's move this over here a little bit. There we go. So get a little bit of leverage on this corner. That helps. Okay. So we got a pretty good amount of that rubber out. So I'm gonna pull on the rubber, get some tweezers. All right, it seems to be coming out pretty well. Maybe I should just go ahead and try to pull it out of the head. Yeah, I figured that might happen. I'm doing all of this trying not to damage the end of the nib here, because that's where the ceramic nib is going to go in at, and I want to make sure that hole stays intact. I'm thinking maybe I could just put the ceramic nib in and push that other part through. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna try it. We're gonna grab the nib, and since we have the shaft pretty much cleared out, I'm hoping to kind of just take the nib, put it in, and then kind of like push down on it, and hoping that it pushes the rubber out through the tip, and the nib will just come out. And I'm hoping that's the way it works, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. Be right back. All right, so right here we have the Supernote replacement nib, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and open her up, and this is how we're going to get this Lamy converted, and this is a key component of that. You have to order these from the Supernote website, and basically it's a refill for their pens, and you can use this for your own pens. You can just kind of cut this shaft down to size. So let's take her out here and take a look. You can cut the shaft down to size so that it fits in whatever pen you would like to fit it in. I'm gonna do that too eventually, but just to see if it works and fits. But I won't be doing that currently because I want to use this to make my Lamy more Lamy-ish. We get the Lamy going. All right, so that's the ceramic nib right there, and we're gonna try to take that out and put that into the shaft of this thing right here. So that's what we're trying to do here. This nib into that shaft, put into this Lamy. Bam. The trifecta. All right, let's do it. Okay, so now they tell you to grab pliers to take this ceramic nib out, but I'm like, it's ceramic. You asking me to grab some steel pliers to pull that out with, and they're not lying. They want you to do that, but I don't know if I can. Let's get the magnifying glass, because this could get sketchy. This could definitely get sketchy. I almost want to grab it with these. With these here. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We'll plier this end, because I'm gonna take this end anyway and probably cut it down to fit into another pen to see if that would work. And then with this side, I can clamp this, hopefully. Let this go. Now this is clamped. I'm just gonna pull it out. And hopefully it's just that simple. It clearly is not. We had to go get more tools. All right, so this one will hold the back end here because I want it to be a clean pull. All right. Now, oh boy, I'm gonna have to put the other end in. All right, here we go. This better work. Oh no, there we go. Oh, it came a little bit. It did come out a little bit. There we go, that right there. Nothing tells me that I didn't damage this tip right now. But I did learn the one pull method with the pliers. Not this. This is not gonna do it. So, oh, I didn't even have it at the last rung. Oh, that was on me. That might have worked. But just for goodness sakes, just grab some pliers. But now, this is the exciting part. I'm pretty excited now. So we're gonna just put this on here and get rid of these tools because we don't need these anymore. All right, so here we go. We have the nib. We have the nib shell, if you will. And I don't think we need the needle anymore. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way. All right, so we only need these two pieces right here and maybe the magnifying glass. And we may need, oh, I may need the pliers again. I'll be right back. Actually, I won't need the pliers. I'll just use these. These will be good enough. All right, so what we're gonna do now is put that shaft, the nib, inside the shaft of the shell, and hopefully we can push that piece of rubber that's still in the head of that nib right there through, and we're home free. All right, yeah, I see it now. This is the back of the nib right here, and this is the front of the nib right here. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this nib here, and we can just grab it right here. There's gotta be a better way. I am not doing this correctly. Maybe I can grab it like, there we go. There we go. Okay, now we cooking. All right, so now we can try to put this nib in there. Okay, that worked well. Okay, now we're at the point where it's gotta be at the head because it's not going any further. Now what I want to do right here is just kind of push it through to the bottom, like hold the shaft here and just kind of like push it through. Oh, it's moving. We'll see if it's going through. I'm getting a little more resistance than what I thought. So it looks like I'm going to have to completely hollow this out. Yeah, I think that the rest of this inside is just inside the head of it. And it's coming. It may be worth doing that on this one, and then if that doesn't work out well, there we go. Holy cow. I was able to grab that with my non-existent fingernails. Hey, look at this. I got no fingernails. I was still able to grab it. I don't know how. Okay, so we got that out. Marvelous. But at least I know now how to do it. Just get the last little bit out through the head, and that's the best way to do it. Slice the shaft, rip it out the shaft as far as you can, then just pull the rest out through the head of the nib, and that's probably the easiest way to go about it. There we go. And that's what we're in. That's what we have here now, without the rubber in it. Okay. All right. Now that we have that, now let's go ahead and get this how we need it here. Bam. All right. Get the nib shell, and let's go ahead and put her in there. So that's the thing there. All right, and we're just going to go ahead and use the box to push it down. And we should see it come out of the tip there. Yeah. And there it is. Can you guys see that? It's coming out through there. That's freaking awesome. Okay, so, wow, this turned out better than what I thought. You can see the nib kind of poking through there, the tip of there. That's a ceramic nib, and it fit into the casing perfectly. You don't even see the cut. It doesn't even look like it had been cut. It looks really good. But anyway, all right, so now that we have this, we can attempt to go ahead and put that back inside, or put this inside of the Lamy and see what we got. I'm super excited. And we'll put this to the side because we don't need the magnifying glass right now, and we'll go ahead and use this to pull the nib out. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use this to take the nib out. The right tool for the job, ladies and gentlemen. Right tool for the job. So let's go ahead and take that out. Put that right there, and we're gonna go ahead and grab the replacement. Oh my God. I think we got a winner. All right, it's in, and this is what it looks like. Let's try the other camera over here, see if we can get that to focus on it. Ceramic Nibed Lamy. Yeah, I'm super psyched right now. I'm super psyched. All right, yeah, I'm excited to try it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up, and we're gonna go get the Supernote and the Note Air 3C, and we're gonna try it on both of those. All right, be right back. All right, so we've got the Note Air 3C here, and we have the Supernote Nomad right here, and we also have the original standard pen for the Supernote, and then we have the modified Lamy with ceramic nib in the house, in the building. So we're gonna just write both, and then we'll test it and see if it's the same. All right, or if it works at all. We don't know. I haven't seen it. So let's go ahead and try it. So okay, so that's how it writes on both of those screens. And let's see if the Lamy works and how it writes. Oh my God, this is awesome. I can't with you, YouTube. This is awesome. All right, Okay, so it works, and it works good. Now, I'm happy with it, supremely happy, but I did just notice something that I will say. Matter of fact, let's just do the button. Life is good. Life is good, my friends. So now, a couple of things I noticed right off the bat is that when I was using this pen with the palm tip in there, I noticed that it wrote lighter. So no matter what the line thickness was you have on the device, writing with this versus the standard pen that comes with that device, this writes a lighter line. So I would always have to darken or pick the next line thickness up from what I was using normally to make this line as thick as what I was used to. Now, I thought it was because of the palm tip and how it interacted with the pen. I don't know how this stuff works, to be honest with you. I just know that I thought that it was how the plastic reacted with the Wacom that caused it to be a lighter line than what I would normally have. Replacing that palm nib with the ceramic nib here, same pattern. The lines are lighter. So if you can see here, the line that I have for this is a lot lighter than the original line I have here. Same with the Supernote. This line is a lot darker than this line here as far as the line of text. Not a lot darker, but darker, and I can definitely see the difference, and you can definitely tell the difference in the L and the Lamy. There was no need for that to be that light, but just overall lighter. Now, you might say I could just push down harder, maybe, but that's a strain on me that I'm not usually having to exert on a pen. Man, I will still say this just feels the best. I love this pen, and the way it writes dark lines, and the precision is there. The precision is there now with this one too. I love it. I can't front it. The only downside to this is, like I said, is that it draws a slightly lighter line. But that's always been the case since I've been using this pen. It may just be a characteristic of this Lamy pen, not really the nib at all that's in it. But for whatever reason, that's the case, but I do love it. It feels good. It's always felt good. Now it has a ceramic nib in there. Life is good. Oh my goodness. Now I can go write and feel good about myself. All right. I'm going to end this video right here, but hey, if you guys are interested in this kind of modification, let me know if you have any questions on doing it. And I'll try to answer those questions as best I can down below. But I hope this video is a great resource to anybody who's trying to do this with their Lamy pen. It is possible, it does work, and it's not as hard as I thought it might be to do. But all right, that's it for me. I hope you learned something and got some from the video. Like if you liked, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.